Welcome! I'm Xenodactyl, and I am hosting the Alpha Exhibition number 3. We have JusticeSimon versus Ravage. It will be a PvZ, and we'll first be starting things off on Ephemeron. Let me change the overlay, and we're good to go. Oh, stream title still. Title: JusticeSimon versus Ravage. I'm sure someone else can update it further, as I don't have a full keyboard for the stream. In any case, spawning in the the lower right-hand corner of the map as the green Zerg, representing Alpha X, it is Ravage. And to the upper left as the red Protoss, also from Alpha X, also from Southeast Asia. I'm not exactly sure where in Southeast Asia, I forgot now. It is JusticeSimon. Okay, standard openers on both sides. I was wondering if Ravage picked this map, and I was wondering if he was going to proxy hatch Spine Bust, but doesn't look like he wants to start things off with cheese. I think he just likes the idea of having an easily accessed third. That is kind of awkward distance for the Protoss to traverse. And I'm guessing that's all there is to his map selection. Just feels comfortable here as a Zerg player. In any case, we have standard things happening on both sides. Yeah, not much else to say so far. We should be seeing a Stargate out of JusticeSimon next. It doesn't have to be, though. The PvZ meta has kind of rotated through all the techs at this point. So while Stargate is still kind of a default safety opener, we will see it. Robo and even TC have gained prevalence. Really, though, there's only, I want to say, 2 TC first builds out there right now. In any case, it's going to be the standard defensive Stargate. This can be coupled with a variety of different follow-ups. It can just be a defensive Robo, it can be an offensive Robo, like with multiple gateways and all-in pressure of Stalker, Sentry, Immortal. It can also be Glideps behind it. We will have to see what he decides to do with the Stargate. Gonna start with the Phoenix to clear Overlord vision. This is more common for, say, Charge Lot all-in or double Stargate play, but it really doesn't have to be that. Some people just open Phoenix every time and assume that their opponent will build a Spore Crawler on time for an Oracle first, which I think is fairly reasonable at this level. Just getting the Phoenix and playing standard. But Phoenix first is kind of necessary for certain, I guess, soft cheeses, as it were, to help hide the tech. In any case, it looks to just be standard play, as we are going to see the Robo come down and a second gateway. This could be that Sentry Immortal that we were just kind of touching on earlier, but it also hasn't really developed yet. He does have a probe that is thinking about doing something. What it is thinking about doing, I'm not sure. There's a healthy sentry or adept count, so he might just try to take a third off of this. Oh, getting those gateways. And an Immortal. Okay. Looking to be that stats 3 Oracle into the Immortal Sentry pressure. We'll have to see if he does decide to go get a Prism now. No, getting the Observer, so just defensive play. Wants a safe Immortal for perhaps Roach pressure at the third. With the Adepts, this is definitely makes more sense for the defensive kind of playstyle. He is sitting on 6 gateways, so there's not really a whole lot that Zerg can do to shut down this third base, if that was the intent of Ravage. I'm not so sure. He is moving out with these roaches, so I think he is thinking about it. There's no shield batteries here just yet, but there are sentries and an Immortal actually. I don't think Ravage wants to be here. This is very dangerous for Ravage. He could get... Okay, he's gonna retreat before there's no escape. And, good decision making. His creep spread is nearly to the center of the map. He can go ahead and take a fourth at his leisure. And we shall see where the game develops. TC and Forge are down. Temporal Archives just behind that, as well as an additional 2 gates. On the Zerg side of things, Baneling Nest is going down, and so I guess this is gonna be a Ravling Bane mid-game composition from Ravage, and then I'm not sure where he wants to go from there. Perhaps he might just tech to like Hive off of that. Oracles are finding a little bit more damage. And they get a couple drone kills, not too much though. Particularly for this stage of the game. I like the double Robo coming out of JusticeSimon, considering the fact that he is facing a predominantly Roach base army. Having the... oh my. Well, he has some work to do with these force fields. He cannot lose to these sentries. He needs to be able to break up the Zerg attack. Fortunately, there is really only one attack path to the third right now. Good Ravager Biles are going to open up the pathway for the Banelings. Banelings are getting into the mineral line, and probes are having to flee for their lives. Charge slots or zealots taking the hit. At the end of that, 15 probes go down, yes, but the base survives, and the entire Zerg army on the Protoss side of the map has been cleared. So I think Ravage did not get from that attack what he was looking for. He definitely made the best of what was a prepared Protoss with those good force fields and probe pull. So I think he would have liked to have Baneling speed with that. I think he was supposed to have Baneling speed, but the Oracles may have forced him to attack prematurely. He does have a Changeling spotting the Protoss army sitting at home, so that's a small consolation in all of this, but I do feel JusticeSimon is in a comfortable position, all things considered. Now, there is the matter of the creep spread. This is a lot of creep to have to work through, and you can't really just YOLO your way across the creep without clearing it first. This gives Zerg a lot of reaction time to set up a surround, to take a good fight, and he's gonna have to think about clearing this at least a little bit. He is doing just that. Unfortunately, because of these bridges, he already has to back up. Good force fields are going to buy his retreat, but Zerg is still knocking down those rocks, and I don't think he can engage any further. He does have Storm, that is nice, but Zerg is looking for the surround. That was a nice Storm. He can storm the ramp as well. Okay, actually, he is very safe as soon as he backs up past the ramp, because he can storm the ramps. Well, relatively safe. Oh my goodness, what a crazy place to take a fight. Very technical on both sides here. Gonna get those reinforcing charge slots to allow him to push forward again. And he does not have any more storms left with his army, but there are also no more banelings. So it's just roaches, but the immortal count is kind of slim for what it could have been, having lost some in that last fight. Now the immortals are exposed, and Zerg will be able to clean. Oh, nice War Prism pickups. Still gets one of the immortals, and just making this as costly for the Zerg as possible. I don't know what happened there. He lifted the immortal instead of putting it back in the prism. But okay, whatever works. I think he maybe meant to lift a roach. I'm not sure. I mean, yes, that does save the immortal, but I don't think that was the intended play. It's not wrong. It's just I don't think that's what he meant to do. In any case, he still has 2 of his 3 oracles, and they're gonna swing around for more harass. This base is like in flames, so that might be a target for JusticeSimon. He might even pick up 2 immortals just to target that down if he is aware that it was quite damaged. He can't really do that anymore though, as corruptors are out. Okay. Zerglings are sharking around, looking for some damage. There is a warp prism and nothing in the wall! Oh no, the Lings have gotten into the natural and into the main. Meanwhile, there is another counterattack being set up, as the Lings at the natural and the main are actually held off by static defense and reactive warping, so it wasn't so bad to let the Lings in. He has the money for that static defense. Ravage is going to get those banelings coming through, and he doesn't actually find too much purchase. Yeah, okay. Blinkstalkers are there. Blinkstalkers are going to be his answer for the Broodlords, as he's looking to end the game now. So JusticeSimon does pick off this hatchery with his oracles, and is aware that it is the time for broods. Whether or not he's seen them, I'm not entirely certain. He did revelate the corruptors, so that is a kind of a tell in and of itself. He does have Storm, but I don't know if he has energy. Oh, that was nice. Banelings coming in from behind as the Broodlords push the front, and he needs to clear the ground so that he can blink under the Broodlords, but I don't know if he has the muscle to do that. Good Storm comes down on some of the Roach Bane and a couple Broods, and another Storm will get the Corruptors and another Broodlord. There's still 2 more Broodlords, but I think he has too much. I think he's managed to clear the ground and get those Blink Stalkers where they need to be. Also picks up the Changeling and clears all creep from the high ground. Well, all creep tumors from the high ground, I should clarify. Alright, so he is established on 4 bases. He has an economy, and Zerg has lost everything temporarily. He does not have a Warp Prism. Oh no, he does. It's just behind his 4th. So he does have potential to push, but he doesn't have the sophistication of his army that he would have liked in order to do so. He's actually going into Tempest. So I think Tempests are going to be his actual answer to Broodlords. He does have Storm, and he seems content to sit back for the time being. I don't see Infestors being made for Ravage, and the economy has been in JusticeSimon's favor for the near entirety of the game. Not in that he's been up in workers or bases necessarily, but I do feel that Zerg, if they want to play like towards the late game, they prefer to be more ahead economically than just staying slightly ahead as Ravage has been. I think Ravage has been looking for his timings, but they haven't really found as much purchase as they would like. He's gotten damage done, don't get me wrong, but I think he was looking or hoping for more. Now, with the support of the Tempest, he is going to freely move across and clear as much creep as he can. He did miss 1 creep tumor, but is not an active tumor, so it merely gives vision and cannot engage further. He does have Storm, is going to try to zone out the Corruptors with that, and nice Storm on the Roaches, going to secure his retreat. And Kiting Storms are very nasty. I think Zerg has lost too many units again, and this might be the opening JusticeSimon is looking for. He's blinking forward. I'm not sure if he needs to do that in this location. There's still high ground for the Zerg to pull the Broodlords back to, and he is going to get more Blink Stalkers. And with that, I think both sides are going to lick their wounds. He still has not gotten that last creep tumor. Does he not have an observer anymore? I guess he lost it somewhere. Okay. Well, it's, like I said, it's just vision. It's not like it can move forward on its own. Where is this drone going? Okay, Ravage is going to take the expansion right next to the Protoss. Why not? In any case, we're going to see our red Protoss swing back to the left-hand side of the map, storming the Corruptors and Roaches. As he retreats, he doesn't have a lot of air presence. I think he was hoping for more, but the Corruptor count is quite high. And Ravage is starting to look strong again. I think he's gotten his economy back up, and while these charge slots will deny this space, this one is far from being touched. This one has been up for some time, and don't know. The Broodlords are starting to fall again as the Corruptors stepped away, but now that they have moved forward again and there's no storm to cover the retreat of the Tempest. Okay, there's the storms now, but I feel like this needed to be here. Oh, okay, he's just gonna blink under the Broodlords again. Okay, that'll do. Clears all the Broodlords again. It's very important that he deals with the Broodlords if he loses his Tempest to kind of respond to the tech reset, so that both sides kind of stay at the same stage, as it were. He actually has a very strong ground presence right now, and these Broodlords, or these Corruptors, have not been morphed. Okay, they are morphing now, 3 of them, 4 in fact, but that doesn't mean that the Roach, like, that's gonna take time. The Roaches have to hold the line, but there are Immortals, there are Archons in this composition, and this base is likely to go down again. Charge bots are coming in. That will help with the ground, and it will help with the game. JusticeSimon takes game 1. Alrighty. I think... I'm not sure whose pick it is. It might be Ravage. I am not sure whose pick it is, but in any case, the next map will be Triton. Alrighty. Looks like we're ready to go for game 2, and it should be starting momentarily. Alrighty. Spawning in the bottom right, taking the first game. It is the red Protoss. It is JusticeSimon. And in the opposing corner, as the green Zerg, looking for those openings, but not quite finding them, it is Ravage. I think on that last attack, or on that first main attack that Ravage did with the Ling Bane Roach, if he had sent some roaches to the, or not some roaches, some lings to the natural, he might have been able to find a little bit more. Return for his investment, but I'm not sure what other things he could have done to kind of make use of the army that he was going for. Like, he was definitely playing for the mid game for a good portion of that. And so eventually when he arrives on the late game, I think he's on Broodlords, and that's the extent of where he can be. Like, he can't really afford to get enough to support the Broodlords, whatever he wants to do to support them. Infestors, Lurkers, more Roach Ravager. And JusticeSimon also played... JusticeSimon did a really good job controlling the state of the game. He cleared the Broodlords when he needed to clear the Broodlords. He had retreating storms as he needed to disengage. The only point in the game that I was kind of skeptical of his decision was when he was trying to clear the Broodlords with his Blink Stalkers, and there's a cliff that the Broodlords can retreat behind. So he lost a lot of Blink Stalkers for not much return. Alright, this Adept is going to shade and see that there are Lings, and there are only 4 Lings, so things look normal from the Protoss perspective thus far. Just setting another shade to confirm that there weren't like Lings hiding somewhere. He has actually gone for the Fast Prism to start things off. I'm not sure what build he's intending with this yet. He has the Stalker, he's making another Adept. This could be a lot of different things at the moment, and it has been scouted, but Ravage might be feeling a similar sentiment. He's going to pick up the 2 Adepts for Harass in the Prism. His Stalker stays at home to get in the wall if needed and deny more vision, and oh, it's going to be double Stargate. I want to say that we saw Zest do something similar, or was it Hero? Recent-ish, where it was a Robo first opening, and then it went into double Stargate behind that. I think the Robo first is to bait Muta, and then double Phoenix counters that. I'm not entirely certain what the thinking is, though. That's just me postulating a build I've seen only once before, right? And I don't feel like that game played out in a standard fashion. I can't exactly recall how it went either. That's the other issue with this. I do think he's trying to sell the idea that mutas might be fun. I mean, even if it's gonna be roaches, the Phoenixes are gonna be able to lift all of this and help with it. He's trying to bank and hold these Phoenixes, but it will be scouted at the last moment. Oh, that is a huge denial on the 3rd. I think in this particular case, getting that 3rd down quickly is necessary because the Phoenixes have been scouted. He wants to get an economic lead as quickly as possible between the Phoenix, Harass, and the quick third, but losing some 30 seconds to the pick-off on the Ling is quite nice for Ravage for pretty much no investment. Alright, so perhaps the Adepts should have moved out with the probe instead of just staying in the wall. Just use something else to plug the wall, like the Zealot. The Phoenixes are thinking about going, there they go. And they need to find some worker kills, maybe a queen or two, maybe some overlords. He's only made 5 of them? Okay. That seems like odd. Or okay, he made 7 of them. That's or 8, 7 or 8. I'm having a hard time. Oh gosh, 3 drones have fallen. Queens are zoning things out. I guess baiting roaches is just as good as baiting mutas. Like, if the Prism scared... Yeah, that actually makes more sense now. Because Zerg is going to respond to early aggression with roach production in the current meta, right? So, you're trying to... The Prism deters the likelihood of Lingbane Hydra. That makes more sense than baiting mutas. I mean, I guess either can happen. In any case, roaches don't shoot up. They cannot help defend Ravage's bases or worker lines from the Phoenixes, but he has enough spore crawlers at this point that the Phoenixes aren't going to be able to find much more. There's also Overlord speed, so most of the Overlords will be safe. Gonna find another Queen. And now, he didn't invest a ton into the Phoenixes and went into Colossus production behind this. Okay. This feels like the ideas of TV or PVT coming into a matchup that like this composition of Phoenix Colossus. I want to say I saw it in the same game, but I didn't anticipate JusticeSimon taking it to this point. This is making me think this was Hero and not Zest, because I can't imagine Zest going into Colossus behind it. Perhaps they both did this funny robo into double Stargate? I don't know. In any case, trying to get a 4th is JusticeSimon, but I think the Roach Hydra count with the Baneling support is going to deny this with ease. I don't think... Well, there are Colossus and Force Fields now. Where are the Phoenixes? Maybe Ravage took too long to get in position for this. And I think he's being punished. Oh, Blink is done! Yikes. Okay. I am thinking Ravage is not gonna be very happy with the state of the game now. I didn't even know he was getting Blink. Okay, so he definitely has something to buffer for the Colossi. That won't just run off to its death. Not that Blinkstalker is, like, amazing, but in this matchup. But it certainly complements Colossi better than Charge Lots. Let's put it that way. Distinctly against Banelings and Roaches. So this 4th is going to get up unscathed, and static defense is going into that as well. I just don't see where Ravage is going to... Oh, okay, he's going Lurkers. I have mixed feelings about Lurkers in this scenario. So I understand he has Hydras. And Lurkers are a very natural transition, especially because it's not like there are Oracles on the field right now. But... Oh, there actually are. Just kidding. I lied. But Disruptors are very easy to get into, and I do feel they still deal with Lurkers quite well. Especially now that they don't detonate on impact, they can sink into the burrowed Lurkers, and they're just gonna have a hard time evading that, as they are underground and cannot move. It's like asking a siege tank to dodge a bile. In any case, Lurkers have burrowed, the Revelation goes down. There are no Disruptors yet, but because the Colossus tech is there, that also means that the Disruptors can start. He's not doing so. He's just gonna get more Immortals for the time being. Force fields are nice. They're cutting off a lot of the Zerg attack, but he's still finding his way through. The force fields didn't quite, like, they were cutting the army up, but they weren't actually blocking the army from getting on top of him. So suddenly Ravage has a massive opening here where he can siege his Lurkers and zone out Protoss from the natural as well as the fourth base. Unfortunately, there was a stasis ward that removes a good portion of these Lings from the fight and buys enough time for the Immortals to step up and clear the Lurkers. So, the stasis ward paying for itself quite nicely. And not that it costs anything but energy, but good life insurance, as it were. Or, that's not quite the right... you guys get the idea. You know what I mean, I hope, I pray. Lurkers are burrowing again back into this center point to mess with all possible ways for the Protoss to handle this, securing a rally point for the Zerg. But I don't know if Zerg actually has enough. He's like trickling in here, Protoss is trickling in here, there's observers sitting over the Lurkers. It's really awkward. This is a scrappy fight. There are some more Blink Stalkers trying to get onto this, and Charge Lots now entering with the Immortal support. JusticeSimon will hold. He does lose 20 probes though, so the supply is just so low for both sides. Worker count is pretty high, but there's just not a lot of army to go around. Okay, the observer is seeing the Zerg, and the Zerg is retreating. I don't... I almost feel like he knows the observer was there. He's actually getting Broodlords now. Oh boy. I don't feel like JusticeSimon is ready to deal with Broods and... Oh, does he have Storm? He might be able to then. Okay, he's getting those Disruptors. I feel like he would have liked these, I don't know, 2 minutes ago. Perhaps he didn't feel like... Okay, there are a number of Archons right now, and this is nice in that he'll have something to clear the Broodlings quickly. He can't really get under... it would be a tall asked to get those Archons under the Broodlords, particularly with the Lurkers still in play. But if he can clear the Broodlings and then disruptor the Lurkers, then his Blinkstalkers and Archons can get under the Broods. So he's trying to create a composition that allows him to deal with what he's being shown. But I just don't know if he can do this. Oh, he does get almost all of the Lurkers, and now he is under the Broodlords with his Archons, with his Blinkstalkers, and Zerg is forced to retreat. Or just lose all your Broodlords. That is also a possibility, yeah. In any case, what looked to be a dicey situation for JusticeSimon is starting to swing back in his favor. Disruptor going up and gets some Hydras, I think. Gonna work on these rocks. I don't know if that's what... That feels strange in my mind. Like, I understand that the Zerg army is not predominantly Ling-based, but that still seems strange to me. In any case, he's going to secure the high ground here, which will allow him to get this base. He also has a retreat path through the corridor. JusticeSimon... I would have liked to see JusticeSimon move this army here sooner. I would have liked to see him come over here and burrow his Lurkers, but there might just be too much. Yeah, he doesn't have as much as I thought he did. He lost a lot on that fight over the 4th base. Banelings are gonna come in, but this kind of feels like a last-ditch effort as the Disruptors do connect with the Lurkers again. And there's still one Lurker. He didn't quite behind his mineral line, but he's gonna deal with the reinforcements, actually, which are much larger than the one Lurker. There are Corruptors coming around, but they can't do anything on their own, and the Observer has to be brought to spot for the Lurker, and this will be dealt with. 5th base, rather, is established for JusticeSimon now, as he's just kind of survived and counterattacked and just done everything he's needed to, really. Alright. Restocking that Broodlord count, Ravage is gonna defend this decently, or with ease, I should say. And JusticeSimon just doesn't want any of that. We're seeing Protoss on even supply with the Zerg, and I feel like that's generally a good thing for the Protoss. Getting those Broodlords picked off, more Disruptor shots, connecting with the Lurkers. And it's funny to think that this started... Like, this is such a unique composition we're seeing. I mean, this entire game has been curious. I don't know if you want to be here right now with your Blinkstalkers. And maybe he's trying to freeze... No, he doesn't need a free supply. I don't know what... I guess he just wants to clear creep and doesn't want to invest his whole army. Okay, that makes sense. These Blink Stalkers can't quite get home on their own. Reinforcements are going to come up and shoo away the Lurkerling force so that he can engage the Broodlord's morphing, picking one of them off, two of them off, three of them off before he has to disengage. Disruptors are there. I don't know if he has a shot for the Lurkers. Well, now he doesn't, as it whiffed. Oh, he does now. Okay. I just don't know what Ravage is supposed to do anymore. I feel like... Well... you know... I feel like JusticeSimon actually wants some other tech, like... I would not hate it if he got 2 Colossi right now to help him with these Lings. These Lings are really annoying, actually. Because there's nothing in this army that deals with the Lings. Like, yes, there are Archons, but they have to constantly kite. And... okay. Ravage has cleared the 5th base and a sizable amount of the army. This game is swinging back in Ravage's favor. We're just... well, charge lots do shut down this base again. I still think this is good for Ravage, but not as nice as it could have been. I don't know where these... okay, they're just rolling up in front. That is all. Yeah. Crazy game. Creep is pretty thick through the center, and JusticeSimon is going to take the forward 5th base. I don't know what these probes are doing here. Was there a base here that I just missed? I think he's just distance running. For now. Okay, Lurker Bane is pushing forward. Disruptors are not... okay, they will just all die. One Broodlord is supporting these Lurkers. Wow. I think JusticeSimon is in trouble again. I think this is very bad for him. Okay. And Ravage will take the 2nd game. Oh my goodness. What are we watching? This is madness. Alright. Disco Bloodbath is gonna be game 3. So... I feel like Ravage learned a lot from his first game, that JusticeSimon can defend a lot of things early on with relative ease. So he didn't really go for kind of that mid-game pressure. And he just focused on getting up a macro engine. Because he was up a full base of workers for quite some time after identifying that his opponent was going to play a passive style with the Phoenixes. And he just focused on establishing his economy. And then he gets to this point in the game where both players are in a really scrappy scenario. They've lost both of their armies, like, 1 or 2 times. Zerg is knocking on the Protoss door with this meager force. And, the thing is, Zerg just had more workers, I think, at home. So, we're gonna see what JusticeSimon does to adjust to this. I think also that's probably not a build JusticeSimon intends to use again in this series at any point. It's kind of one of those quirky builds that you don't really see a whole lot, and I think there's a little bit of gimmick to it, not in the traditional sense. It's not a cheese, but perhaps not the most all-around standard safe way to play. Just a little bit peculiar, I think is the word I'm looking for. In any case, let's get into this game. In the bottom left, upper left, as the red Protoss, taking a game, dropping a game, it is JusticeSimon. And in the bottom right, as the green Zerg, opening standard, again, like his opponent in a way. It is the green Zerg. It is Ravage. Okay. Standard openers, nothing to write home about. That? Yeah, I guess this works. Okay, yeah, he has a functioning wall. This map always feels weird when you're looking at it. Like, it's not like this is difficult to wall. It's still the same number of hexes, but depending on where you put your pylon, you can kind of force yourself to make a wall that you didn't want to make, or you can actually fail to wall this map correctly because the ramp is awkward a little bit. It's not like it costs any more hexes, it's just you don't have even terrain, so some people don't like it. In any case, Lings are going to shoo the probe away so that this drone can become a hatchery, as it was its life's mission. Always wanted to make the queen happy, you know. And we are going to see that Stargate again. Positioned to spot for a potential Nidus, I guess. This actually feels like it might be Oracle first. Oh no, still going Phoenix first. Okay. I guess you can't really go Oracle first here. Well, I guess you could just put it here. Just hope your opponent doesn't throw his overlords in. I don't know. I don't play standard on this map ever, so... Looking for the overlord, not gonna find one over here, as there is only one overlord this time, and it is on this side. Oh, there's another overlord, but it's running away. I don't know what tipped him off that he should run away with this. This is... okay. It is a wall. It's just not the wall I think he meant to make. He's gonna get this overlord, but why didn't you just make this one hex up? Perhaps he misclicked. In any case, it will just cost him a pylon to amend this grievance. And we're gonna see Glaive's pressure build, I'm gonna say. Off 4 gates, and I think he intends to take his third behind this and go into double robo. I say this all because I don't see additional gates coming down, which would be if he were going to do a Glaives all-in. Like 4 gates is definitely some commit. Oh, it's no, that is a robo. Okay, there's the third. Okay, okay. I don't remember the timings for this build. I just remember the progression. So, as I haven't done this build myself in quite some time. Glideps shading into the natural. They are going to be greeted by some lings, and roaches are here as well to support. Finding the drones, though, they are going to pick off at least 8 of them. Where did he shade to? Okay. Over here at the third, adding 2 more drones to his account, but I don't think he's going to find any more, as the lings are on top of him and he has not sent any more Glideps. He does have a stasis sword, that's nice, screwing with the main mineral line quite a bit, and causing the queens to derp, trapping them so that they could not help defend. But I don't know about this. He does have 2 robos. Let's see, he got 10 drones. I feel like that's fair for both players. Like, it's not... These Ravagers can break these force fields. Ah, the lings got on top of this! Really nice movement, going to surround that Immortal away from the shield batteries, which have already died, in fact. The Immortal will survive for the time being. Vials are going to go down, not connecting, but forcing the sentries to pull back. Another Immortal is here. The Oracle is being turned on to help with the Ravager Ling. It does deal bonus damage to light units, which is pretty much the entirety of this composition. And Zerg will be forced to retreat. Ravage did find himself 5 probes in that, and 4 sentries, so that's a good gas pickoff. I'm not too sure. Okay, he's gonna go for a round 2 with Banelings. Yeah, those force fields do negate the Baneling presence for the time being. Another nice force field blocking the mineral line. As Ravage continues to press forward, he's still not finding much purchase. Good force fields are going to secure this game for JusticeSimon. I do recognize that he made a lot of army in having to deal with the Glideps. So he needed to get some purchase out of that. And I think I just don't know. Like, 10 drone kills, I guess that's where the damage was done. It wasn't that JusticeSimon killed 10 drones and frees the mineral line. Like, yes, that was good. Yes, that's an advantage. Yes, he is ahead. But the real damage was done in the larva being forced into army units, and then still taking the 10 drone loss. Like, if he had those army units and lost 2 drones, then, like, he's not as invested into that counterattack. Or if he doesn't make the army and he has an additional 10 drones, like, well, then what does it matter? He's already replenished the drones that he lost. But as it was, he just had to kill the third, I think, in order to break even. Or at least that's how he felt. I'm not entirely certain, as I don't play Zerg enough to know where is too much damage for, or like how many units have to justify themselves at all states of the game. Anyway, JusticeSimon thinking about a Nexus first. Okay, gonna put the pylon for the ramp. This is expertly placed for walling this, as he can drop his buildings and a shield battery. Okay, he's gonna start with the gateway there. Curious choice, but it works. Actually going for a gate expand, I guess. Not wanting to commit to the full greed of putting the forward pylon, but still going to allow himself to take the quick third off of the gate expand at some point. Maybe we'll see 330 third base. I don't know. In any case, he definitely appears to be playing to the map, so we'll see exactly where JusticeSimon takes this. There's that Nexus. Should see a Cyber. Okay. So, standard openers, just a very forward positioning from JusticeSimon. Gonna drop his pylon here, I presume. Perhaps for a Stargate. Yeah. Okay. This is giving me some ideas. I don't think Zergs are happy when I start to get ideas. So I'm a very memey player myself. Lings are going to pick off the scouting probe. So, like last game, this third will go up unimpeded, or without too much problem, I should say. Stalker in production. I think this is... oh, well. I was gonna say he's making this Stalker to give the impression that there is no Stargate on the map, but that is, if that was his intention, it's not gonna be possible anymore. Okay, well, he completes his wall at the front, investing an additional pylon into it, instead of a shield battery, I suppose, would have been the alternative. Not much difference. Same cost, really. And, yeah! He's gonna get this Overlord, and, perhaps he'll take a third base now. Oh no, gonna get the Robo. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure when... this is the thing about when Protoss takes this expansion. It's not... or puts this wall here. It's not that Protoss is going to take a quick third. It's that Zerg does not have a good way of scouting whether or not Protoss took that third. Now, this does have counterplay to it. Like, I think Nidus is very strong on this map, partly because, like, there's a number of Nidus builds you can do to do this. Also, there's Overlord speed, as we're seeing here. Ravage seems to get this almost every game, if not every game. I think he's just very comfortable with that decision. Twilight Council is down. Templar Archives is just behind that. And, you know, I feel like Ravage is just doing a relatively standard Archon drop with everything at the normal timings, and just decided to take this wall to obscure his game plan. I am curious why he builds his Roach Warren like this. This feels intentional. I just don't know what it's for. Perhaps charge lots? Like a charge lot all in? Like the positioning of the Roach Warren. I don't know. Like I can see that helping him with things going into the mineral line. I just don't know what he's thinking of specifically. Here comes that double Archon drop as we were anticipating from the Templar Archives. And just gonna clear some creep to start. There are roaches trying to get on top of this, and they will force the pickup. I was trying to say all those words at once. Double Robo is going to, or the second Robo is going to go down, and we will see the Archon harass continue as he's looking to clear creep, looking to get kills on anything he can, but really being zoned out by the Lings and Roaches. The Lings alone really can't engage this, as they do just get shaved by the Prism Micro. But as the Roaches get there, JusticeSimon just doesn't have any more shields on his Archons, and they are basically cotton balls, so they are very fluffy and cannot sustain Roach aggression at all if they have no shields. Okay, Archon drop is going to swing over to the natural and find some drones, but they will be pulled away before their demise, and the Archons are going to be picked up again and shuffled out. Centrifugal Hooks is completed, and that's going to give Ravage some compositional aggressive potential. But due to the nature of the map, I don't think he's going to invest a whole lot of army into an attack until he sees a fourth base from the Protoss. I suppose he could also get a Nidus Worm, and that also gets around the issue of how do you break this front wall that has Immortals and Sentries all just clumped right here. He really can't do something to mine out the pathway to the third base, as the Stargate would see it, and then another pylon would just go down, so it would be kind of a moot point very quickly. And this Archon drop has just bought JusticeSimon so much time to get everything he wants. He has Blink, he has Immortals in mass, he has Sentries. Fortunately for Ravage, he does have Ravagers, so he will be able to break up the force fields and therefore move his oh my. Okay, he does save those Archons and blink the Stalker away from certain death, picking up a couple of Ravagers, or just one? Okay, the other one barely escapes. And now, encroaching on the creep, he is blazing his way towards that fourth base. Zerg has set up a surround and is going to come crashing in with the Banelings. Bile's going down on the center of the army, eating up all the sentries. And I think Ravage has managed to hold what was a very scary push, forcing the retreat, as there's just not the right units here for JusticeSimon to deal with this anymore. He will use the Blink and Prism Micro to get through get his army back to safe territory, but he doesn't have a lot of complexity in it just yet. He's predominantly working on Blink Stalkers, and that's just it's okay. It's okay, you know. It's like it's better than nothing. It has some punch power, but it doesn't deal with the Lings. And I mean, yes, it's nice against the Ravagers. He does have a lot of Blink Stalkers, though. He has. And now he has the charge lots coming in, so that's going to really fill out some front line and allow him to hold. He did lose an Immortal, but I think he is happy with this defense. Okay. Ravage is going to take his 5th base. And yeah, I think Ravage wanted a lot more from that attack. I think he wanted to shut down the 4th and was really denied that with just a superior army count, really. I think Protoss has gotten to a stage of the game where they just have more than they usually do, whereas I don't feel like I think a lot of this just comes down to the Archon pressure. Shaving off Lings, shaving off drones, creep. It didn't really get... I think he only got like 1 drone, actually. But in any case, it was a really nice defense from Ravage. And he wanted to find a counterattack, but I just don't think he found what he was looking for. You know, Blink Stalkers are not terrible on this map, as there's a lot of different places they can run from the Lings. As awkward as they are for this matchup, the map, at least, as we see there, is good for them. There's a lot of places they can run to, you know? Over the minerals and through the rocks. Gonna get surrounded though, and all that supply is going to be eaten up in the blink of an eye. No pun intended. And this is Max Zerg army knocking on the Protoss door. I do think Storm... Oh no, Storm is not quite done yet. Okay, there it is. And with Storm, he has the tool he needs to handle this, but he doesn't have the Templar count that he's looking for. Good force fields are going to buy him some leeway in this. Banelings are rolling up into the 3rd or natural, I don't know. And the Immortals are going to hold strong, but 17, 18 probes have gone down thus far, and more may fall still. Okay. Well, denied mining time, at least. 20? 23. Okay. Ravage can now quickly remax as his, he's sitting on 75 workers. He has 5 bases of production. And go for a round 2, as it were. Or is this round 3? I guess this is really round 3. And adding Corruptors to this as well. I don't know if he... Let's go see. Does he have... He does have Greater Spire. And gonna find the surround on most of the Protoss force, cutting off the retreat. There are High Templar though, and they do have Storm, so he has to be careful about how he takes this fight. Perhaps he will send a flank to this right-hand side, or even left-hand side. His army is well. Okay, he's gonna send the roach, some of the roach. Oh, he's doing both. Okay. He's morphing his Broodlords, getting ready to send the Broodlords with some support force through the front as the Ravling attacks from the left and the Banelings attack from the right. He is crashing in to this 4th base, but I don't know if he can... Okay, he does have more Broodlords. And the Stalker count has been reduced to ash, now there is nothing except for this Phoenix and Archon to contest the Broodlords, and that is not nearly enough. The Broodlords will win the day here, I think. 2 more Stalkers. Actually, he's managed to clear a lot of the Broodlords somehow. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. So the Immortals were still in high enough count to contest the Broodlings. So the few anti-air units did allow him to hold for a moment, but alas, there are no more Stalkers, and the Lings come up to secure the kill on this 4th base, and I think that's going to be the end of this game. Oh, I forgot to show the score. Okay, well, it is 2-2 now, I believe. Yes. So we are going on to our game 5, and there it is. Oh, that's not what okay, there we go. World of Sleepers. Oh my. Who selected this one? Oh. Okay, game 5. I think that this is the end of the show match. So whoever wins here wins the show match. I'm not sure what the prize distribution is, but the Matcherino code is somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, I don't have a way to copy pasta. Okay. I don't think this is the right one. Gosh. I will paste it in the Discord. And if someone sees it and can add it into the stream, that would be nice. Alrighty. Spawning. Oh, let's fix the overlay. Yes. Spawning in the upper left as the... Wow, I cannot tell my right from my left today. Spawning in the upper right as the red Protoss. On match point, it is JusticeSimon. And also on match point, in the opposing corner as the green Zerg, it is Ravage. Okay. You guys know who these players are. We've gone through 4 games, we've seen macro openers, we've talked about the games. Yeah. They've all been very close games in one way or another, I feel. I don't feel like either player has, like, completely dumpstered the other. There may have been some style clashes. What is going on here? JusticeSimon? What are you doing? Is this lights one base all in? Where is your... Oh, you have a pylon there. You're getting a Stargate. What is this? What in the world are we watching? Okay. Perhaps he will make oracles to support his adept pressure. When it's all on the line, JusticeSimon decides to pull out a new one. He may be looking at the last game he played. Is this a Tempest Rush? It can't be. No, okay. Parting has a 1-base Tempest Rush for PvZ. So it's just a 2-gate Stargate pressure build, I think. Because he's expanding and he's stopping at these 4 adepts. So I think he wants to find a lot of worker damage with the opening units. But it looks like Ravage is matching him step for step, as it were. So he's not finding purchase. His third is even going down at a relatively normal time in relation to all of this. I think this was just a pressure opener that he wanted to start with, but oh, the Lings have gotten into this space! It's a disaster. He does have Warp Tech, but this means these Oracles are gonna have to come home in order to clean up the Speedlings, and if they're home, they cannot use their energy to kill drones. So, this is just not what he wanted. Just awful start for our red Protoss. He does have a Zealot in the wall now, so that's not gonna happen again. And worker count is even, so that's something, I guess. Gonna start the Immortal. There's actually a lot of Lings that were committed to getting more damage done. So those Lings getting in, I think, baited Ravage to just Ling Flood more, and I don't think that was the right decision. I'm not exactly sure what caused his additional Lings, but that's what it felt like anyhow. He brought a drone. I think that was a mistake. I don't think he meant to do that. Oracles are shutting down creep tumors. Okay. That's something you can do with them, yes. And oh, I thought he queued a second Robo. Imagining things. Twilight Council. So, JusticeSimon is definitely going to play this out in a standard fashion, in spite of having a lot of pressure to start things off. Double Spore Crawler at all these bases. It's almost like he's anticipating a double Stargate play. I don't think he would have wanted to do this versus just 3 Oracle Phoenix, but I don't remember how he played first. Like, I wasn't paying very close attention to his Spore production in the other games. But this does feel like he's... It feels to me like Ravage is anticipating more aggression than JusticeSimon is actually putting out. He seems to be... like... he's only slightly ahead on workers right now, and I feel like he should be more ahead on workers, considering that JusticeSimon hasn't actually gotten any worker kills. Save. the 5 drones he got with the oracles? I don't know. I don't remember seeing like a ton of damage, essentially is what I'm saying. I may have missed it, but the stats don't lie, as it were. And a couple more gateways finishing up. Charge and +1, halfway done. Well, one is over halfway, the other is under halfway, about halfway between the two of them if we're looking for a timing, I guess, not really. Oh. Something happened there. I guess he sent some... Oh. Some adepts in and they got some drone kills. Okay. Establishing his 3rd base, getting those additional 4 gateways to fill out 8 gateway standard, going up to 9 or 10 now, I think. And perhaps he's going to, it feels like he's thinking of mining this. I don't know. Here we are going to see the Raveling Bane again from Ravage. I do think that something about the name Ravage makes me want to see him make Ravagers. Am I crazy? Of course I'm crazy, but is that part of being crazy? Is that... In any case, he's found himself great damage on this 3rd mineral line, and it will get cleaned up though, so I'm not sure how much. This is, again, like, how much did he invest? And he is on 73 workers, so he can afford to throw away army to some extent. I think that was good for him then. All things considered, he's droned behind the mid-game quite nicely, and as we're starting to enter the fringes of late game, he's like... I mean, there's no... We're not on late game tech, but... Like, we're leaving the mid-game slowly, right? And, he might not be able to establish this base. I think his Ravagers are just slightly too far away. Yeah, he is going to have to cancel. And this is going to allow these charge lots to get on this mineral line. Oh, he's just gonna go for the hatch. Okay. I don't hate it, but there is a queen that... Actually, that queen doesn't have energy for a transfuse. So he will in fact get that, and the recall to save as many of these as possible. I think he only got like 4 of them out. Yes, indeed. There were exactly 4. 4th base is being taken in the linear position, not expanding in the fashion of his Zerg opponent. War Prism is here, and it will pick up these... Well, the other one could not make it. It died. It was a sad day for the one zealot that got left behind. Perhaps it will be absorbed by the Zerg and made into some King of Blades. In any case, we see a Baneling flank sharking around this backside, gonna come at the army, and there are storms, but the Banelings connect with the High Templar, and suddenly the complexity of the Protoss army has been removed. Gonna disengage. Not sure why he... I guess he didn't want to fight that with just Ravagers. Okay. I can understand that. Why take a fight that you may win when you can take a fight that you will certainly win, says Ravage. Getting a couple more Ravagers, getting a couple more Roaches before he engages. But the thing is, he gave his opponent time to get High Templar again. And then another Immortal. Okay. Well, both players have decided that an armistice is in order, and they will both live to fight another day. 5th base has been established for the Zerg. And where is Ravage on his tech? Is this this is indeed a hive. And yes, okay, Greater Spire is halfway done. So JusticeSimon, where are you going with this? Okay, he's gonna harass with this prism. And then the army is going to come and push along this bottom center lane that he has been going down. There are Ravagers here. I'm not sure what for exactly. Perhaps just to spot an attack coming from that direction, as he doesn't have a lot of creep there and it's not an easy place to collapse in on. I'm gonna pick up the High Templar for Storm Drops. Perhaps? Looking like Corruptors are gonna zone that out though, and he's gonna get these High Templar with ease now. Okay. I believe Blinkstalkers are out and carrier production has begun. A 5th base has gone up for our Protoss. He's only on 1 Stargate though. So I don't think I feel the carriers. He's gonna get a mothership. This might just be 1 carrier to screw with AI and a mothership to offer cloak and go for some massive ground push. That's what this is feeling like right now. So when I say I don't feel the carriers, I guess I mean to say I don't feel carriers in the plurality of the sense, or the intent of plurality. He's getting a robotics bay, in fact. I don't know what JusticeSimon is doing exactly. This is a little bit weird. It's not the progression to deal with broods that he has shown, nor is it a progression to deal with broods that I am familiar with. It's also not like he's fighting a Hydra comp, so I don't think carrier screws with targeting as much. It might just be panic, I need something. Ouch. Yeah, I think it's just panic, I need something. These storms are really nice though. He's cleared so many Broodlords on just Storm, and now he can engage this with just his Blinkstalkers. Okay. The carriers were enough, I guess. Oh, you know what, now that I think about it. If he was going to go Tempest, he needs space to retreat. And he may not feel that he has the space to retreat when he's already against his own base. That may have been what went into this decision, I don't know. Okay, Blinkstalkers are going to retreat back into the Stasis Ward and carriers. So this is a very interesting. What did he just recall? I don't know what he recalled, but he recalled to his mothership, so he reinforced the fight somehow. There is one roach over here. And Corruptors are coming in, but the Blink Stalkers are going to rotate over and secure JusticeSimon Game 5. And I believe that concludes the series. Not 100% sure, but that is what I was told. GG. All right. That does conclude this show match with 3-2 victory going to JusticeSimon. Very close games. Great series overall. And yeah, I'm Xenodactyl. You guys can find me on Twitter or Twitch. Just use the clan tag plus an underscore plus my name. I trust you all to figure it out from there. And yeah, till next time.